Tau pui sa ta wadale la me, lui tho ki to pe hala kotanari Werribee da letita by Watharonilla.
My name's Mark Wilkinson. I was the pastor at Werribee Baptist Church from July 2004 until October 2016. And this is the story of how we came to have a Karen service. Really the story starts with my old friend Alan Marr. Alan Marr was my youth pastor way back in the 1970s at Blackburn Baptist. Somewhere along the line somewhere between 2004 and 2006, I heard the story, Alan talked about the story of the Karen. At some length about his affection for the Karen people and his heart for the Karen people, his desire to see them flourish. And so that was really the starting point of that.
Yetila pada noni te lebayo not puba with the udala hilo that the noni lebayo weskine the disiposi the yusanaki disiposi hunni yigle long term ne yile the theba.
Well, my friend Tamara Benjamin, I remember this lady coming to Werribee Baptist, and we've discovered this was somewhere in the middle of 2006, and as I would have a habit of doing, I would greet new people. And I would talk to new people, and I would, in particular in this context in Werribee, it was always an interesting story of where are they from and so on. We have quite a multicultural congregation, and so Tamara, I greeted her and I said, "So where are you from?" And she said, "I'm a Karen person."
Here by a low Werribee bloody, Dabaya Throni, Hete the Ga Pepe, Kito who ni Bugalani. Itilota the drama Thiquayala, no happily.
Sometime later, maybe 6 months later, her husband, Biame, came. And so this lady, Tamara, had a husband. And then I also discovered they had 4 boys.
Yeah, by we're talking loud with your wad, your pony, Sato, here by you put it upon it toward Sunday school, Pepeni.
And again, sometime later, maybe a little bit later in 2007, maybe as their English improved and they felt a little bit more comfortable, they came along. And so I met this full Karen family. Well, the following Easter, 2008, on Easter Sunday, we had 20 Karen turn up. I think a few people, 1 or 2 other Karen had come along just before Easter, but something happened at Easter, 2008, but we had 20 come along. I was to find out later that my friend Tamara had invited them all, and with the idea in mind already that there would be a Karen service.
Looking at Dijali Othagoya, the Pugato Weda Letagi Taklo Lepugaba, do Ottawa in your bloody Tauponelo.
Lo từ leo mốc bakal leo khu ba ta tro mo ko ra ba tro ro li ba ba ki ga le tham na ni lo ko ga ya mi na ke te bia ya le ba ko le no ko di a du di ba na ke da ba ga le sa wa ti ki ba le ko ra ma da re no tham na da ya mi tu kre we ka thi lo ta da ko ta no le cha du bo da ba di ya ra mi ra ta ba.
It's been a real privilege and honor to have been able to be there at the very beginning when I remember with Mark and I, we met with the Karen leadership, at least I think it was the leadership at that time.
On staff at Werribee Baptist at that time, our pastoral care pastor Drew Miller, and Drew and I had this conversation straight after Easter. Said, "What's going on here?" And so we said, "Well, we better have a meeting." And so we had a meeting with Tamara and Biame and Stell and Jolly, and so the request came to us, could we have a Karen service, because the Karen people didn't feel like they understood English very well. Now, it's important in the Karen story to say is that we were a little bit reluctant, and there were some people in in the Werribee Church who were reluctant, not because we didn't want to help the Karen people, but because we didn't ever see ourselves as being a congregation that would have lots of different language groups. Some churches do that, but we had good success, if you like, with having all the different cultures in the one service, and so we had to have a little think about that request. But Drew and I took it to the elders meeting. We discussed around this idea, and we processed that.
The lekini ye letilo kita the drama the Drew the Yuwa the drama stemuri the ya pela opola pe ke heki thromo. I would say okay. I would say they were begitu tak lolo takole tau pota pate o me I would say tulua.
So with all those things, then in process, the elders of Werribee Baptist agreed that we could start a Karen service. We basically said we have no idea what we're getting ourselves in for, but we think maybe God might be just in it and saying, yeah, well, why not? Why shouldn't we? There's no reason not to do that. We had time in the afternoon. We said it could be at 1 o'clock, and so we started this service. And on the first Sunday of May in 2008, we had this service, and there was a very big number came to the first service because, as I was to learn, when Karens have anniversaries or launches, everybody comes from everywhere else, and so there's a very large congregation, well over 300. Our building only held about 320 or so, and so it was overflowing that day.
The klula patro ke thodi bane ye khitra makta lolo awa ke du apwa bune te la te blo to ke he lu apwa le ke sai wa ke lu ke thane te la te blo.
As I said, there was Tamara and Biame and Stel and Jolly and Poe was the other one who was an immediate leader, like a pastor in the group, assistant pastor in the group, and so he helped to lead the services. And so, but there's this congregation of 80 straight away, and it was this.
But I remember that meeting where you were asking whether Werribee Baptists would be able to facilitate you had starting up a Korean fellowship.
The hipokopo the no the susun oda ga possible. The lucky utamitele pun nicolwate pantulopwa, the Pohiwada, the Pokabaya pair, the Nari that was it tulopa.
I remember the first time I did baptisms, and there was 7 baptisms that first time, and that was just an exciting time. We did a couple of weddings along the way as well. So
the paper saw down put the thorny, Pagao te the color. The dubo tapon oda a do thirsty blenya, a hune paha o what I do put tapo the pa, paha look lady the what they came baba you ago, the penisico, the radrun master wala, the ha one dubo tapo sicola.
But the Karen then made a very significant contribution to the building as well, and raised significant money. The congregation pledged money as a congregation. The various individuals pledged money, and the Karen raised all the money for the seats. I remember they had a real passion for chairs, and so they did all that, and it became a really good another further partnership. And
Korean people are very, very gracious. They would never do that to an old man.
One of the important things that was why the Korean congregation just continued on and had good relationships in the Anglo congregation is that the Koreans did a great job of making sure they cleaned up, they locked up, and if they had it in the evening, they made sure they were responsible and looked after things.
My role was primarily doing the PA to start with.
Because Drew used to come, I used to come once a month, but Drew would come every week, and he would be helping with the offering and be helping with the PA system, and then he'd probably drive people home as well.
Our main wish is to just pass on a blessing to you and pray that God will continue to bless your fellowship and to continue to bless your time at Werribee. And I know quite a few of you have moved further into Victoria or interstate. So I just know you're doing well. Your walk with God, I know Mark and I learned a lot from the Korean Fellowship in just how you do things so differently. You've got a lot of faith and a lot of trust in God, and you are very gracious and very loving, kind people. So I wish you all the best and send my greetings to you. So thank you for allowing me this opportunity to give my wishes on your 10th anniversary. May God bless you.
The new bat the new nepelejo that with us petas in the ehi. The ta pussy copele massico penny, the with it to low cost of what the ta or the muba padu manilo. Penny circutone per papalochin or the oba or that nere. Ya, the nere the hill duties and the ta putra as a hodine drapo e. The tasako adune kinyoto, the pama satasako adune me without demon no re. Penny a circuito posico the pahique pata di me. Disapulu, Biami, Dramus demori, Dimiacho, Dijole, Thazinted Panelo. Sunday school, Jokome, where Dramu rode tunelo. Kigdane, but I'll pull it out, Baba to the moon suddenly, but I need to see Nilo. When the Pacific back, you are the dark killer, pull out the Pacific Basico, but where be Golo while he patala dark and began to wither the roin.
I've always asked the Korean congregation. This has been the question for the Korean congregation from day one until here we are 10 years down the track. Why has God brought you to this country? God has brought you to this country for His purposes. He hasn't brought you just to sort of stay in your Korean little services. He's brought you to influence wider than that. And your children will be doing that. That will be forced upon you by your children, because your children are growing up in an English-speaking world. And so that's going to be part of the future. It's going to be a bit difficult because there's always, every people group who comes to this nation has the same issues. Nothing new that you guys are facing. Every people group has this. The whole thing of older generations who only speak the mother language, middle generations who are caught in the middle, younger generations who are becoming more and more Australian and less Korean. Who knows? There may be a time when we no longer have a Korean congregation because it becomes all fully integrated. Who knows? I don't know. We leave that into God's will. We look forward and saying, Lord, would you take us and lead us onward into the future? And we pray that in Jesus' name.